When a small spark burns down the house, a Talmud story. The Talmud says a small spark of suspicion can burn down the entire house. Today I'm going to tell you a story about how this single sentence almost destroyed a family. This is the story of Lisa and Michael. March 15th, their 30th wedding anniversary. Lisa received a text from her husband, Michael. The Ivy Restaurant, VIP room, 7 p.m. I have a surprise for you. Her heart fluttered with excitement. She put on the blue dress he bought her in Paris. She went to the salon. Her hairdresser said, "You look radiant today. You're so lucky to have a man who still surprises you after 30 years. Lucky. That word would come back to haunt her. 7 p.m. She opened the VIP room door. And what she saw, Michael sitting across from a young, beautiful blonde woman. Their hands touching on the table. Leaning in close, talking intimately. The world went silent. Like someone hit the mute button on everything. Her grandmother's voice echoed in her mind. The Talmud passage she used to read a small spark of suspicion can burn down the entire house. In that moment, the spark ignited. Lisa didn't say a word. She turned around, walked down the stairs through the restaurant and left. She sat in her car for 20 minutes, hands shaking so violently she couldn't start the engine. That night, Lisa didn't sleep, not even for a minute. The Talmud teaches, judge not before you know the truth. But she was already judging. 3 a.m. She went to Michael's study. For 30 years, she had never gone through his things. That was trust. That was marriage. But not anymore. With trembling hands, she opened his desk drawer. Bank statements. January $52,000 withdrawn. February $68,000 withdrawn. March $83,000 withdrawn. 8 months. $470,000 gone. Half of their retirement fund that they'd saved for 30 years. She dug deeper. Credit card statements. Tiffany bracelet, $15,000. Ritz-Carlton San Francisco weekend suite, $8,000. Flowers delivered every Friday to an address she didn't recognize. All the evidence pointed in the same direction. Betrayal. Cold, calculated betrayal. She thought to herself, this is proof. This is absolute proof. The Talmud also teaches you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you speak. But Lisa wasn't listening. She had already made up her mind. The next morning, she called the best divorce lawyer in San Francisco. I want to destroy him completely. Days later, she met her nephew Jason, a computer expert in Silicon Valley. Jason, can you hack someone's email? Long pause. Aunt Lisa, that's illegal. I could lose my job. She said, remember who paid for your college tuition? The next day, a cafe in Palo Alto. Jason typed and clicked for 3 hours. Finally, he turned the laptop screen toward her. Aunt Lisa, this. Her hands started shaking. On the screen, dear Mr. Harrison, your next chemotherapy session is scheduled for Thursday at 2 p.m. Please remember to fast for 12 hours beforehand. Chemotherapy? Her brain couldn't process what she was reading. More emails appeared. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Experimental treatment. 6 to 12-month prognosis. Total cost $470,000 in treatments not covered by insurance. 3 seconds of silence. That woman wasn't his mistress. She was Dr. Emily Chen. His oncologist, and her husband, was dying. The Talmud says hasty judgment cuts deeper than any sword. Lisa had been holding that sword, aimed straight at the heart of a dying man. Lisa drove to Stanford Medical Center like a woman possessed. 3rd floor, room 317. She stood outside the door, hand on the handle. Once I open this door, everything changes. There's no going back. But she opened it anyway. Michael was in the bed by the window, Ev in his arm. Skin grey, cheeks hollow. He looked 20 years older than the man she'd seen at breakfast. How had she not noticed? 247 days, she said, her voice hollow. That's how long you've been lying to me. A single tear rolled down his cheek. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Why? Why didn't you tell me? Did you think I was too weak to handle it? No. He looked straight at her. I thought you'd stop living. I couldn't bear to watch you stop living. That night, at home, Lisa found his journal. Hidden behind books on the bottom shelf. January 10th, 8 months ago, I got the diagnosis today. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I drove around for 3 hours before going home. I kept thinking I should call Lisa. Tell her. But every time I picked up the phone, I imagined her face. The tears. The pain. Our entire life shifting from living to dying. I couldn't do it. I read something in the Talmud last night. True love means placing your partner's happiness above your own. If I tell Lisa I'm dying, she'll stop living. She'll become my nurse. She'll watch me waste away and it will destroy her. The Talmud also says, a husband's first duty is to protect his wife. So that's what I'm doing, even if she never understands why. March 15th, their anniversary. Tonight, I'm taking Lisa to the Ivy. Same VIP room where I proposed 30 years ago. I'm going to tell her everything about the cancer, about Dr. Chen, about the treatments. She deserves to know. I just hope I'm not too late. But he was too late. Because Lisa walked in during his meeting with Dr. Chen, misunderstood everything, jumped to all the wrong conclusions. The Talmud says hasty judgment cuts deeper than any sword. Lisa had been ready to destroy him in divorce court. The man who was only trying to love her. That night, Lisa knelt on the floor and gathered the scattered pages of her mother's Talmud, the book she'd thrown in anger days before. She opened to a page her mother had underlined. God never gives a burden too heavy to carry, but sometimes he asks us to carry it together. She understood now. Michael had fought alone for 8 months, to protect her, to keep her from hurting. But that was the problem. Love isn't about sheltering someone from pain. Love is about sharing the burden together. The next Tuesday, Lisa drove Michael to Stanford for treatment. She sat in the waiting room while poison was pumped into his veins. She waited. At home, when he got sick, she stood outside the bathroom door. She was there. When his hair fell out, she shaved his head herself. You're still the most handsome man I've ever known, he cried. She held him. The Talmud teaches 2 people are stronger than 1. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. 2 people, Lisa and Michael. The 3rd strand truth. Now they were together. October came. November. December. Christmas with family. Their daughter Emma and the grandchildren. That evening, Michael said, This is what I was fighting to stay alive for. 1 year later, Stanford Medical Center. Full body scan results. Dr. Chen walked in with the results. 3 seconds of silence. The tumor is gone. You're in complete remission, Michael. Was it a miracle? Was it medicine? The Talmud says miracles happen every day. If only we have eyes to see them. Michael's survival was a miracle. But the real miracle was something else. 6 months later, the Ivy restaurant again. Same VIP room. 31st anniversary. Remember last year? Michael asked. Lisa smiled. When we almost lost everything. Yeah, but we gained so much more. The real miracle was this. The spark of suspicion didn't burn down the house. The sword of hasty judgment didn't cut through love. Truth finally won. The wisdom of the Talmud has endured for over 2,000 years. What we learned today, a small spark of suspicion can burn down the entire house. Before you suspect, ask. Judge not before you know the truth. Even when you have evidence, listen to the story. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you speak. Hasty judgment cuts deeper than any sword. Before you conclude, try to understand. God asks us to carry burdens together. Don't carry it alone. Share this story with someone you care about. The wisdom of the Talmud isn't trapped in ancient books. It lives today, right now, in our daily lives. Like Lisa and Michael's story. And perhaps in your story too. A small spark can burn down a house, but a small light can also illuminate the darkness. Today, which spark will you choose? Please subscribe me and see you again.